Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna be exploring learning and its introduction, processes, and your neuroscience. So for you to be updated, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell because I'm gonna be dividing my topic into 3 parts. So first, let me read to you the objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to first, identify and define the key concepts related to the learning processes. Second, demonstrate an understanding of the significance of studying the learning processes. And third, develop a basic or psychomotor skills associated with the neuroscience of learning as described in the Neuroscience of Learning by Schunk in 2012 through practical exercises or activities. Learning. So, what do we mean when we say learning? Well, learning is a change in knowledge, skills, and behaviors from our experiences. So let's analyze the 3 components of this classic definition. First is the change. Change can be divided into 3 parts. So first, you sense your environment, you adopt your response, and you record the experience. Now, in sensing your environment, it means that you're feeling a gap between your past experiences and your current situation. And such a gap must exist for learning to occur. So, as you can see in the illustration, there is a space between the past experiences and the current situation for learning. So, it means that in order for us to learn something, we must allot a space for the learnings that we may learn ahead. Next, adopt the response. So in adopting a response, it means integrating a new information into past learning, and this ability to get meaning to new information through association and inference. So it means that in order for us to learn something, we must adopt the response or adopt the learning that we may encounter. So in the illustration, it means that in order for us to learn something new, it must be united with our past learning and our future learnings. Next, record the experience. So, in order to the learning to occur, the experiences needs to be recorded. So, it means that we have to repeat the past learning and experiences to strengthen or enhance these for our future usage. Next, knowledge, skills, and behaviors. According to Benjamin Bloom, there are 3 domains of learning. The first one is cognitive, the second one is psychomotor, and the third one is the affective domain. So when we say cognitive, it means that this learning includes knowledge and thinking. So an example situation of this is that in a biology class, students are learning about photosynthesis. They start by memorizing key terms and concepts or knowledge. Then, they analyze the step-by-step understanding the chemical reactions involved, which is the comprehension. And finally, they apply their knowledge to design an experiment to test the factors affecting photosynthesis, which symbolizes the application. Next, for psychomotor. Psychomotor involves learning in physical skills and coordination. An example situation to this is that in a woodworking class, students are learning how to make a wooden chair. Initially, they watch the instructor demonstrate the techniques for using various tools, which symbolizes the imitation. Then, they practice these techniques, starting with the simple cuts and joints, and gradually advancing to more complex tasks, which is the manipulation. Eventually, they build their own chairs, demonstrating their mastery of the woodworking skills, which symbolizes the precision. Next, for the affective domain. This learning involves emotions and values. So, one example to this is that in the character education program, students are encouraged to develop empathy. They read and discuss stories about people facing challenges to evoke feelings of compassion, which symbolizes receiving. Then they engage in group activities where they must cooperate and support one another, fostering a sense of teamwork and caring, which symbolizes responding. Ultimately, they demonstrate empathy by volunteering in the community to help those in need, which symbolizes valuing. These examples illustrate how different aspects of learning can be categorized into cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. Effective teaching often involves addressing all three domains to ensure a well-rounded and holistic experience of learning. Next, experience. Experience is what differentiates the change generated by learning from any other types of changes. For learning to occur, the change must come from an interaction with your environment. Learning is adapting from previous experiences. So this is what we need to remember, that for us to learn something, we must adopt what we have learned before or what we have learned in our current situations. Now, as a recap, what is learning? Well, learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge, skills, or understanding through experiences, study, or practice. It also involves taking in information, making connections, and adopting behavior or thinking based on what we have learned. Learning is an enduring change in behavior or in capacity to have in a given fashion, which results from practice or other forms of experience.
When you were a little kid, did you learn how to ride a bike? Did you learn how to do long division or learn the capital cities of different countries? How about learning how to drive a car when you were a little older, or learning how to do laundry? We use the term learning all the time in everyday life, but within the field of educational psychology, the term learning is actually a specific term. Different people use different words to define learning within educational psychology, but in general, we're talking about a step-by-step process in which an individual experiences permanent, lasting changes in knowledge, behaviors, or ways of processing the world.
Now, why do we need to study the learning process? So, learning as a process means that through method, effort, focus, and practice, we can get a lot better and gaining expertise. Studying the learning processes is a fundamental and multidisciplinary field of research and practice with far-reaching implications for first, education, psychology, neuroscience, and personal development. Studying the learning process is crucial because it reveals the systematic methods and strategies through which the individuals can enhance their expertise and knowledge. So, as what I've said earlier, it is important because first, it can improve the education. Second, it can help the study of the cognitive psychology. Third, for the neuroscience. And lastly, for the personal development. So how can it help the on improve the education? Well, first, it can help with the curriculum design. Understanding how students can learn inform the development of effective teaching materials and curriculum. For an instance, research in cognitive psychology might reveal that spaced repetition enhances memory retention, leading to educators to design study plans that incorporate this technique into their teaching materials. Also, it can help in individualized learning. By studying learning processes, educators can tailor instruction to individual students' needs. For example, if a teacher knows that a student learns best through visual aids, they can incorporate more visual elements to their lessons, such as putting videos and photos during the presentations. Next, it can help the assessment and evaluation. Knowledge of how people learn helps in designing fair and accurate assessment methods. For example, educators can design assessments that measures deep understanding rather than just rote memorization. In other words, or in summary, by understanding how people learn, educators can design more efficient and engaging instructional strategies. They can tailor their teaching methods to cater to the diverse learning styles and abilities, ultimately enhancing the quality of education. Next, how can it help in the cognitive psychology? First, it can help through memory enhancement. Researchers in cognitive psychology can develop strategies to improve memory and information retention. For an instance, the study of mnemonic devices and memory techniques can help individuals remember important information more effectively. Second thing, it can help in problem solving. Understanding the cognitive processes involved in the problem solving can lead to the development of better problem solving strategies. Cognitive psychologists can help people develop critical thinking skills, which are valuable in the various aspects of life. Third thing, it can help in the cognitive disorders. Studying the learning processes is crucial in diagnosing and treating cognitive disorders like dyslexia and ADHD. Tailored interventions can be developed to help individuals with these conditions succeed academically and in their daily life. Next thing, it can also help in the neuroscience. So in what ways? First, brain plasticity. Research in neuroscience can reveal that the brain's capacity for change and adaptation. This knowledge can be used to develop interventions for individuals with learning disabilities or brain injuries to optimize their learning and recovery processes. Second thing, neurofeedback. Understanding the neural basis of learning can lead to the development of the neurofeedback techniques, where individuals can monitor and control their brain activity to enhance learning and cognitive performance. Next, pharmacology. Neuroscience research informs the development of drugs and treatments that can enhance the learning and memory. For an instance, drugs that enhance neurotransmitter function can be used to improve the cognitive function in conditions like Alzheimer's disease. In short, learning has a biological basis, and studying it helps the neuroscientist to explore the neural mechanisms underlying memory formation, synaptic plasticity, and brain development. This knowledge can lead to insights into neurodegenerative diseases, learning disabilities, and cognitive enhancement. Next, how can it help in the personal development? First, for the lifelong learning. Knowledge of effective learning strategies can empower individuals to become lifelong learners. They can acquire new knowledge, adapt to changing environments, and remain competitive in their careers. Second, it can help for self improvement. Personal development often involves learning new habits and skills. Studying learning processes can help individuals optimize their self improvement efforts, such as adopting better study techniques, time management, and goal setting strategies. Third one, emotional intelligence. Understanding how emotions impact the learning can aid in emotional self regulation and social skill development, which are essential for personal and professional success. In summary, studying the learning processes is a fundamental to improving education, cognitive psychology, neuroscience, and personal development. It allows for more effective teaching methods, better understanding of cognitive functioning, and the development of strategies to enhance the learning and personal growth.
How do you remember the way to school every day? Why do your eyes blink without you even thinking about it? What is it that makes you feel happy, or sad, or even scared? Your brain is in charge of these things, and a lot more. In fact, your brain runs your body, and it controls just about everything you do, even when you're sleeping. And when it comes to learning, your brain is the most important part of your body because it is where all of your thinking and remembering and feeling takes place. Here are some things that we know about the brain. The average human brain weighs about 3 pounds and looks like a big grey wrinkly sponge. A dog's brain is 19 times smaller than a human adult brain, while an elephant's brain is 4 to 5 times bigger than ours. While you're awake, your brain generates up to 25 watts of power, enough to illuminate a light bulb. The biggest part of your brain is a cerebrum, and it has 2 halves, one on either side of your head. Scientists know that the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. When you're thinking, you're using your cerebrum. You need it to solve maths problems, to speak, to draw pictures, to kick a football, to imagine things. Just about anything you do, in fact. Your memory lives in the cerebrum, both short-term memory, like what you ate for dinner last night, and long-term memory, how you felt on your first morning at school. The cerebrum also helps you to reason, like when you work out that you should do your homework now because there's a film you want to watch on TV later. So, the brain is boss, but it can't do it alone. It depends upon lots of microscopic cells called neurons, over 100 billion of them in fact, that let messages flow backwards and forwards between the brain and body. Each neuron has tiny branches that let it connect to other neurons. When you're learning things, electrical messages travel from one neuron to another, over and over. Eventually, the brain starts to create connections or pathways between the neurons, so things become easier and you can do them better and better. Think back to the first time you rode a bike. Your brain had to think about pedaling, staying balanced, steering with the handlebars, watching the road and braking, all at once. Hard work having to think about all these things at the same time. But eventually, as you got more practice, the neurons sent messages backwards and forwards until a pathway was created in your brain. Now you can ride your bike without thinking about it because the neurons have successfully created a bike riding pathway. Creating these neural pathways is how you learn and remember things. So, the more you use your brain to create these pathways, the more you will learn. Your brain is responsible for your feelings and emotions too. It's normal to feel all different kinds of emotions: happy, sad, worried, or stressed. One of the things that we know for sure is that our emotions have a big impact on the way we learn. Feelings of stress or anxiety can make it very difficult for someone to learn. When you feel threatened or worried, your brain is programmed to trigger the release of chemicals such as adrenaline and cortisol into your body. These chemicals quickly alter the way you think, feel, and behave, making it difficult to think clearly or take in new information. Scientists believe that we learn best when we are happy and relaxed. That is when our brain processes information most efficiently. There are other physical factors that can affect your brain's ability to concentrate and learn effectively. The brain requires water for creating neural pathways, so being dehydrated can mean that your thinking will be less effective. Not having enough water in your system can also lead to a rise in salt and increased blood pressure, which in turn can cause stress. The brain also needs the right balance of proteins, fats, vegetables, carbohydrates, and sugars to work efficiently. So, maintaining a balanced and healthy diet is important for effective learning. If you have a diet that is too high in sugar and food additives, you will probably find it difficult to concentrate well, and it might even affect the way you behave. Other things can have an impact on your brain's ability to work efficiently. When you're tired or hungry, too hot or too cold, it's unlikely that you'll be able to concentrate effectively on learning. Sitting still for long periods of time can affect your ability to concentrate and study. It's good to take brain breaks where you do some physical movement or exercise. This will increase the oxygen in your bloodstream, which will help the neurons to fire. Many people believe that a person's intelligence is fixed and it is not possible to become smarter. In fact, our brains are constantly changing and creating new neural pathways. This means that everyone is capable of learning and becoming more intelligent. There's lots you can do to make sure that your brain is healthy by creating the best conditions for learning. Firstly, the more you use your brain, the more efficient it will become. Challenge yourself in your learning, be ambitious, set targets for yourself, and make sure that you have an imaginative and an inquiring mind. Use your brain by doing challenging activities, such as puzzles, reading, playing music, drawing, playing computer games, or anything else that gives your brain a workout. Make sure that you eat enough healthy foods that will give your brain the minerals it needs to function well. Drink plenty of water to make sure that you stay properly hydrated. Take regular exercise to increase the level of oxygen in your blood. Make sure that you get enough rest and sleep. Break your study sessions into chunks to aid concentration and take regular brain breaks to help maintain focus. Stimulate your brain in different ways. A combination of audio, visual, and kinesthetic learning is often the best way to take in new information and learn new skills. Remember that your emotions play a big role in how well you learn. It's best to avoid studying or trying to learn new things when you're stressed or upset. Why not check out the other sections on memory and emotions?